We are at the last chance saloon for FaZe and Renegades. Both these teams need a win. Renegades just getting their first win in their previous match and sending somebody home. They're fighting for survival, as our FaZe clan. It's an interesting matchup. I think the previous matchup for Renegades versus Dream Eaters was pretty interesting as well, on paper at least, based on what we've seen from the teams. But Renegades rose almost from the ashes. Not quite in the ashes just yet.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the things, is that Dream Eaters is a team that they should surely be many calibers above in experience, individual play, and everything else that is required to be a good Counter-Strike team. And Dream Eaters enter their natural end to their run. But FaZe, they, like Renegades, they've also been struggling and finding issue in playing their game so far at the Major. And as you say, this is last chance saloon for both of these teams. And you would expect that, I mean, FaZe should be better. They are ranked better. They have even more experience than Renegades.
If you look
and
at
they've been hard at work.
If you look at their head-to-head, Dan, 6 wins for FaZe, 5 wins for Renegades. That's pretty 50-50. So, and if you look at the map pool as well, if you look at the HLTV stats for the last 3 months, FaZe don't have more than 50% success rate on any of their maps.
Yep.
And that's a solid 7 maps on Mirage, for example. The rest are about 4 or 5, so not the biggest data, but still, not more than half. They're like 40. They're from 40 to 50% on all the maps they play.
Well, I mean, FaZe have done this before. We can recall at the London Major, for example, that was actually when Carrigan was on the way out, and there's a lot of turmoil in the team, and I think they got to the 2-2. Or the 1-2 point, something like that. And they managed to come all the way back to actually win. They played a bunch of hard games. They really stepped up their levels. So right now their backs are against the wall. And if we're going to see a great performance from FaZe, now is the time, of course. They've done it before. And I'm sure that they will be able to do it again. At least in terms of where the team is at, in terms of their morale and camaraderie and preparation. They're in a better place than the previous times in which they found themselves in this position.
I feel like you have way too much confidence in FaZe in this series. I think this is really 50-50. Renegades have a lot to gain at the moment. They, again, just coming off of Dream Eaters once more. Their stats in the last 14 games are not fantastic. They've only got 2 victories in those 14 games, and one of them was just recent on with the 2-0 versus Dream Eaters. So we can see that their statistics are not great either. But once again, for both teams, I think it is fair to say that their stats are a bit skewed because of the player break. So that's a whole month where you're not going to get a lot of games recorded on the official channels. And now we're going to move into the veto. It is a best of 3 as it's elimination time. So with their initial bans, Mirage is going to be the first map to kick things off.
I feel like that's pretty helpful for FaZe. Nuke, I think that's also a good map for FaZe. Obviously, that's going to be their pick. So for me, the veto looks pretty awesome so far for FaZe. As things move forward, so it's hard to say exactly, again, because you mentioned the lack of data that we have for both these teams. Okay, well, so we're going to get Vertigo. That's an interesting one, because I actually feel like even though Renegades lost on Vertigo against a Vanguard, I feel like Renegades played a good Vertigo. Like, it looked like one of the best maps that we've seen from them, even though they lost it all tournament, actually. Yeah,
I wouldn't want to be playing Guardian on Dust 2 anyway, regardless of who I am on the other side. That, oh boy, if it goes to Vertigo. To be honest, I feel like we're in the dark. In terms of what we can take from what has come before, the statistics and so on, I feel like we're really in the dark for this series. Yes, FaZe kind of got bigger names on their team. They've gone further in many tournaments, but that's not the way they're necessarily playing at the moment. If it was, they wouldn't be in this situation. So this is all wide open for me. We'll have to wait and see what the teams are able to do. Looking at from the Renegades' perspective at where they have fallen short sometimes, they have had a habit of losing rounds that they shouldn't be losing.
Yeah, I honestly, like, talking about the statistics and the experience and everything, I think that shows that we should favor FaZe in this one. But I think given what I've seen of Renegades, and as you say, James, kinds of the rounds that they've thrown away, I've seen FaZe play smarter Counter-Strike than Renegades so far. And so that's another reason why I'm thinking, all right, I'm going to lean quite a lot towards FaZe in this one personally.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not leaning either way. I really think it's just wide open. But I think one of the key things for Renegades is to close those holes where they're in strong situations and they're in rounds which they should win easily and they somehow fail to do so. We saw a lot of those rounds from Na'Vi versus MIBR, but they were playing against a team who are not obviously in a period of transition. So that's going to be, well, it should be a lot of a weaker challenge for Na'Vi than we're seeing here. So Renegades really have to limit the issues they have in situations like that. We can see the GG bet odds, and FaZe are a solid favorite And I'm sure they will be on the Strafe app as well. I think they'll have a bigger pool of fans than the Oceanic region. But yeah, I do think it's wide open. I think it's, I don't know, I mean, maybe it does turn out that it will end up in this fashion where FaZe are heavily favored the way it plays out. But going into it, when things begin, I think we are a little in the dark. That's my opinion. I
think one of the things for me that's been key, especially what we saw with Renegades versus Dream Eaters, Renegades should have been able to crush Dream Eaters in the way that Dream Eaters were playing. Dream Eaters didn't have any individual stand-up performers, and when it got to 3v3s on Mirage and these kind of mid-round situations where it comes down to how smart you play as individuals and also how you can work on the fly, they were not able to really make a very convincing argument against the Dream Eaters, for me personally. And when I've seen FaZe, when they play Crazy on this map, Crazy are probably one of the best Mirage teams like in the world right now, given what I saw from them. I don't know how replicable that is from Crazy, but they had a ridiculously strong Mirage game. And against FaZe, you know, FaZe played a lot of smart positions, but they just could not activate individually, and their game plan against Crazy just didn't seem to pan out strategically. So for me, the issues with FaZe and Renegades are different, and this is one of the reasons why I'm leaning towards them. And you know what? It's going to be really exciting to find out, James, because we both have our own reasonings for viewing things as we do, but
yeah,
the game is about... A game's about... Well, you never make predictions, so you shut up, James. You're always on the fence. No one can respect it.
Dan is triggered. Let's go into the game because the game has started. Let's put the cameras in the game. Let's get into the game. 1 minute 45 on the clock. We've got JKS with a P250, a flashbang and a smoke grenade. Jacob's going to get off to a good start. 4 plays remain for FaZe. Nico having a look from the stairs. Olofmeister's got to get in a smoke grenade. For those of you in Go TV, I'm a big fan of Olofmeister. On the T side, I will say Olofmeister. For this half, normally we go with the CT teams, but I'm interested to see how Renegades enable Gratisfaction. I think it's not the easiest job on a few maps to AWP on the T side. Actually, no, I'm going to say JKS because I think he is a star of the show. I think he must deliver for Renegades to prevail here.
That was a great shot from Nico. His focus is really remarkable. And it's a 4v4 suddenly. Renegades looking to try to activate this A-split. Oh, no. Liaz, that was a sitter. Absolute sitter there for Liaz. Unable to find it, though. Unfortunate. Whiffs that first shot and then panics for the rest. Not going to connect. Gratisfaction makes it easier. Takes down the heavy hitter in Nico. So it looks good for Renegade still as the bomb goes down. Olofmeister, the only player with health here. He has to find a way to save the day. Against Crazy in this position, he was able to find a 4K in the pistol round, and now he's going to have to do that again. And it's not going to be easy as one he runs out of bullets. Well played by Renegades. They really slowed things down there, and they managed to find their way into the A-bomb side after Nico was on high alerts.
The winners are winners, they say.
Yeah.
And there is the pistol round. So I'm glad that we are having Renegades start on the CT side, as I feel like the T side, yeah, because I think that's where the hurdles that they'll have to hop. In terms of dealing with rounds such as this, we're going to get an early idea as to where they're at in this series. Again, this could be, this will be the last series for one of these two teams. Renegades making their way towards the B bomb side. They've got flashes, they've got a Molotov towards that van position. Nia will drop the smoke to create some space, give him some breathing room, allow some rotation. But FaZe plan going for a push off the ramp, which means that they won't be able to defend this bomb site properly with the remainder of their team. One, but he can't find a second one. Left, right, Olofmeister. It is a lot faster than the 2 right clicks, but I respect the attempt. Who knows which way the guy was facing in the smoke. Seems to be having some fun indeed. He is still alive, but he's dead now, and FaZe indeed are nowhere near this bomb site, the remainder of them. I imagine they'll be resetting the situation in the next round.
I can't believe he was alive for so long. That's very odd.
I do wonder if the sheer pace of this round is Renegades being aware of some of the weaknesses they've had in the rounds prior, the anti-force buys, where they're just like, the faster we go, as long as we have some utility in the right place in the flashes, we go out, we've got the numbers. They don't really have time to... It's unlikely you're going to have like 4 players on the B bomb site immediately in a force buy round. So they limit the chances for something to go wrong. You can't do that every time, but just get a successful one out of the way. Everyone's alive. This is good confidence boost for Renegades.
Yeah, they won't go too far either, so they'll be safe. But this is also opportunity for FaZe Clan in the following round to do some additional damage. It would be completely fine if Renegades play exactly the same round in this following round. And once again, you know, even if there are a lot of players there, you still have more firepower, and the utility should give you the edge to at least get out of the apartments. And once you've done that, life starts to get a lot easier, as long as you don't lose anyone as you go out of the apartments. Olofmeister is creeping around for so long. So here we go. We've got the next round. Olofmeister will gather himself an HE, or well, purchase one, I suppose. And the deagle for Nico. Oh, he's got a couple connections there. He actually hit a lot of damage, but didn't get a kill. Oh, the HE follow-up almost took down JKS. That would have been a nice one for FaZe, but they are not really getting the damage they need just yet. They've stacked 3 towards B. So it looked like they did anticipate maybe that Renegades would go for another B rush, which, again, as I mentioned, would be, for the reasons that James stated in that round, a good look. But they've opted to go towards Connector, so I'm not sure that FaZe would get too much damage here. Rain, it would be nice if Rain had a deagle. I think a deagle from that spot's really strong. We saw from Lucas earlier just how strong the deagle can be.
Look at the rotation, though, from FaZe Clan. Olofmeister's pushed through the apartments, and that's going to allow more players to make their way towards this A bomb site. Renegades have been going slowly. Neo will only get the 1 frag. Rain, oh, Rain with a TZ! That could have been a lot, and now there's much to do. The scout is still in play for FaZe Clan. These are the rounds we're talking about. These rounds. There are 45 seconds. Azza preying on some kind of rotation, but it will be through Connector. I don't think he's got a sound cue, which leaves Jakem very exposed. At what point does he start to push Azza? Because he can't stand here forever. Olofmeister looking for rotations. He may have heard the scope. Guardian's in that short position. Olofmeister, he's making the right plays, but he won't quite get there. Azza out the window now, and the best chances may have come and gone, but this is still doable for Olofmeister if he can find the heads with this USP. There we go. Azza's got 27 HP. He's got to be fast with this Mac 10, and now there's a rifle to collect, which is even worse. He pulls out. He tries to draw Azza, but he knows that there's probably no kit, so he can play it super slow. He will chase with the Mac 10. He might as well. There is the elimination, and he will rescue an AK-47 at least. But these are the rounds we're talking about. This is the exact problem that Renegades have to avoid if they're going to win any games in this series.
FaZe are also one of the teams that are most familiar to us in terms of causing other teams who are on their 4-buy issues when they just have a handful of deagles. So not too surprising that FaZe can also extract value from rounds like this, but that's kind of part of the difficulty that teams in the past have had against FaZe, is that your economy is like always very difficult to secure it against them. And we get the double ops straight away. So the big guns come out for FaZe, no messing around here. Olofmeister and Guardian on those AWPs. Olofmeister taking the middle position, and it's going to be Nico to hold down with the M4, A1, the silenced M4. The connector position, and he might just have himself, oh my goodness, what's going on here? We've got a quick pop flash, and oh, that's so unfortunate for Nico. I love the boost over the smoke. That's very smart stuff there from Renegades, and they got a kill from it, and perhaps not in the way that they thought.
Early advantage for Renegades, looking to break the early buy of FaZe Clan. Olofmeister with the AWP. Shades of Fnatic days. 4 versus 3. All of a sudden, Renegades have quickly lost their advantage. They are together, more or less, poking into the short position. Better start moving before Guardian has a look towards short. He's been left alone towards the B bomb site, so surely he will look eventually. See him moving a little. I heard a comment about Kitchen, not sure who it was from. And Guardian's been taken out. There is position for Renegades. They don't realize it just yet. They've got some utility. A Molotov through the window and a flashbang. Neo's completely blind, announces his presence, but a bomb can get planted. And they've got the high ground advantage still, Renegades, which is really strong to try and defend this bomb site.
Yeah, 1 forward smoke. That was the only smoke there for the CTs to create some space to try to get out of the door position, but is that going to be good enough? Quick HE deep there. Yeah, looking to push the door finally. And now Olofmeister starts to look in from Catwalk. There are options here, definitely, and that's a nice follow-up from Olofmeister. A much-needed frag. Rain goes down. Olofmeister doing damage yet again. But that bomb is not that ticks yet, so Lias has to come into action. He's got to try to prevent this defuse from happening, but there's no kit. Okay, there it is. Neo's picked up the kit. Goes for the defuse, committing to it. Oh, Lias could have taken him down! Oh, I don't think he realized Neo gets it just in the nick of time. Olofmeister, absolute heroics in this round. Saves FaZe, and they pick up their first one on the board.
Oh, that's really that's really unfortunate for Renegades. That's a very counterintuitive spot, actually, to plant the bomb, because in a lot of cases, when you plant the bomb for the window like that, the CTs can defuse without showing to the window. It's not as ideal a situation as you think. Like, if you planted it deep against the wall, against the barrels or whatever that structure is there, you can't always see the CTs, and that came into play. Liaz didn't realize he was tagging the opponent. Olofmeister blocked by the smoke grenade, and he's going to go downstairs instead with the AWP. There are pop flashes you can do for yourself against the wall, but it is an awkward situation. Nico will start off. He'll get dropped quickly, though. 4 versus 4 is advantageous, but surely Olaf Meister has to come into play soon.
Yeah, well, he managed to get a frag from underpass in towards middle.
This allows funnily enough...
Oh, it's actually towards underpass.
Getting hit by that shotgun, getting hit by the smoke grenade, sorry, allows him to push... He's forced to push apartments, but that gives him the information that no one's going towards B.
Yeah, he killed the player that was effectively the lurk, and he's kind of gambled on that fact, and it indeed has found out that it is. And here comes a nice play from Rain. You feel like that should have worked out, but JKS gets the headshot, and elbow spotted, a body spotted. Guardian will have no mercy for Azza as the bomb goes down, and Renegades are in trouble here as we get Neo swinging in from jungle, or at least trying to do so. Guardian's occupying most of the attention, but now the smoke has gone from jungle. Gratisfaction has to hit this shot, goes for the no-scope. Can't make that one work. And he is darting between 2 positions. This is looking scary. In comes the headshot. The smoke goes away. Gratisfaction was not aware of it, dissipating at that timing, and he would be punished. 5 HP for JKS. This looks extremely difficult as now the smoke goes down and they start to close down his position. He gets 2, and it's just 1 left. It's Olaf Meister has to pull out the pistol. He's got 5 health! How has he managed to pull that one out the bag? Renegades. That is upsetting in the extreme for FaZe. They had that one in the bag. He had 5 HP the whole time. Picks up a 3K for 4 in total. Where did that come from?
That is the example. That is why I said at the beginning, JKS is the man on the T side who needs to do it for Renegades. He is, in my opinion, the best player on the team. He is very, very special indeed, and that was absolutely disgusting. Renegades were in a really rough spot from start to finish when they made those entries on the ramp towards the A bomb site. I don't know if there were any flashbangs, for example, for Azza to be flashed in. There was a flash later on. I'm not sure if it was picked up on the body, but it was a really rough spot for Renegades. JKS, absolutely. Look at this. He gets his bell rung with 4 players alive, 5 HP, and he massacres all of FaZe Clan. That is a lot of little skulls for his shelf.
Oh, that last kill as well is so difficult to get. Oh, look at what it's done as well. It's absolutely ruined FaZe's money. I mean, they'll be able to buy after this round, but you see they have to be quite conservative so they can have AWPs. And here comes a fast one. And once again, we see this rush into the B bomb site from Renegades as they eliminate the defenders with ease, it seems, so far at least, as Neo will go into the smoke with the USP. And there it is. It's inevitable. And the bomb will go down. Rain causing problems with the CZ.
Got to be careful creeping around the smoke, especially when you're closer to it. You're more likely to be seen by your opponent, so go fast or go home, as they say. Go hard or go home.
I was going to say, did they say that? Did they say that, James?
You shut your... Oh, I can't say that on stream. Nico will be exploded. JKS, that is a very special performance early on, and looking at it from FaZe Clan's point of view, the caliber of players, what they've achieved in their careers, this has to be an issue for them, like psychologically, this early. To have JKS delete you, they don't know he's got 5 HP, although, I mean, actually, maybe they do because
they did, yeah.
Whoever it was who shot him in the head in the first place,
yep,
probably shouting 1 HP. So if he's communicated that to his opponent, and that still happens, I mean, to his teammates, sorry, and that still happens, I don't even know what after that.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise.
I think it was Rain who dinked him with the UMP, and it was like a very... So that's actually one of the few spots where you're kind of sure that guy got absolutely dinked down to a very low situation. Leah's one of the few people that I do see still throwing the side jump smoke for the window position. Not as common these days. Bialy, I think I first saw it from years ago. From Virtus Pro, the Virtus Pro era. It's a nice pick to begin with things with, taking down JKS. The problem, FaZe have not much utility, and they've lost Connector, but they do have Guardian towards Ticket, and he's the answer as far as Connector's concerned, but he doesn't really have coverage towards a ramp. And although the first pick against JKS came in Palace, Guardian would be exposed if he was to peek Connector. He's going to be really cautious about the A ramp position. No smoke for it. Where do Renegades go? They don't have anybody really towards either bomb site. They surely have mid control.
Ladder certainly helps. They can boost somebody into the window. Neo is keeping an eye on the crawl space with a Mach 10, which is not really an ideal situation. It's unlikely he even gets a kill in that spot if somebody tries to make their way towards jungle. You can see Jacob poking. Olofmeister is a little further back in that short area. You can see the crawl space actually hasn't been opened up just yet. I like the peek from Guardian. That was awesome. He's seen the bomb as well. That's all the information they need. And now Olofmeister starts to move up the short area, and that bomb needs to be collected. I'm not sure if it has just yet. Neo with the Mach 10 in CT holding it down. That bomb is completely exposed in the middle of connector. How does Liaz survive this? He's in the red. Now he's dead, leaving Azza alone in a 1 versus 3. 13 seconds on the clock. He sees Olofmeister maybe looking to pick up the AWP. That will be denied. And Azza has a chance at a bomb plant. He's got a swing though. Neo has, never mind that. Through the wall from Nico. That will steal the round for FaZe Clan.
That's a pretty huge frag from Nico, because not only does, obviously, Nico end the round with that, Neo is 100% dying there. And if Neo dies, Neo can't collect the second AWP, which he just did. So that's kind of huge that Neo is able to live there, because Nico gets that penetration kill. Not to mention the fact that if Neo does die, it is a 1v1, and Nico's Force 4 probably picks up a rifle along the way. So that is quite a nice one from Nico. Now the double ults continue indeed. Olofmeister will make the jump across. I'm liking that we're seeing Olofmeister on the AWP. He's been a bit quiet this major so far. I think would be a great time for a big resurgence from him. And a flash into the A bomb site. Guardian's going to be in some trouble right now. You can see some. I think he saw a shadow, at least some steps. Rain gets out of dodge towards CT, but the challenge comes his way anyway.
The fast round from Renegades, limiting FaZe Clan's opportunities to react, to get the comms in. And Nico makes his way towards CT. He might get 2 to transfer us here. The extra bullet's coming in handy, but he can't quite find the second frag. More exchanges, a big fight for CT. Will they expect another player as they're going a little deeper? He'll spot Olofmeister just in time, which leaves Guardian in a 1 versus 3. Can't even pull a grenade out safely. Being peeked already, JKS making his way over. Flashbangs. And Guardian stuck in that connector position. Don't give him 1v1s, because he will take them. JKS through the wooden panel will finish him off. And FaZe Clan's money is in the bin once again. 6-2 Renegades. The strong rounds, the fast rounds are working out for them.
I've got to say that So the situation when Nico dies, and then this next challenge comes in, both Nico and Neo had a pretty good engagement with the M4, but they both were not able to get the kill in the first 4 bullets. So that's not a good look, James, because that's supposed to be, they're supposed to convert those kills. That looks like an underperformance. So I'm a bit worried for FaZe, given that, because they have to be able to win those against Renegades if they want to win this series. And now they're in trouble again. FaZe, they need something special, and maybe the pop flash. Oh, would you look at that? The P250 is doing serious work. Just one left. Olofmeister, he can't clutch it down. It's Liaz to control things, but that's a lot of damage.
That's a great exchange. That's awesome. A nice cleanup with the Mach 10. Perfect tool for the job, all things considered. Some bonus money that will help, and FaZe Clan have a chance to capitalize on that damage in a future round if they can be successful. $450 left for FaZe Clan after buying 2 AWPs. Olofmeister and Guardian once again. There's the strafe deployment. If you do it too late, there will be a gap in one corner. Guardian smoked off from his position. Falling back is Olofmeister in connector. A 2-pronged assault in mid, but they'll both be dealt with. Oh, a big flashbang, but Jacob's got a pre-fire in the right spot and a continuation spray. He shot Nico in the head immediately. That's really unlucky for him. Olofmeister seems to... Okay, there we go. I was going to say, he seems to realize that Jacob is in position, and he will make it a 4 versus 4.
Yeah, definitely his intuition was correct in that spot. Really nicely done. That's an important one. As it creeps through the smoke, I like the pacing here from Renegades. They're really keeping the action on all the time. It's never a dull moment. This is an insane creep. Holding this position is interesting. He can go deeper, but obviously it's hard for him to know whether it's safe or not. And now Neo's got a better position. He can't do it now. Of course, he can't know any of that. Oh, there it is, though. Unlocks the B-bomb site just as Guardian left towards Market. Guardian misses a key shot there. The door has been smoked. The bomb's going to go down. And with the money as it is, and no utility really to retake this, they're done. They're done in this round. Renegades. That creep from Azza. What a beautiful play.
Storming round from Renegades. I love how decisive they're being There's no hesitation. A lot of the rounds, going back to that Vertigo, for example, a lot of the T rounds, they were really, really slow. And they didn't have the map control to be that slow, where you could say show some presence or punish a push and so on. So the CTs were grabbing information. But none of that has really been allowed to happen in these rounds. I mean, yeah, there's been an exchange in a frag in Palace here and there, but they're being very, very decisive. They're just going with the gut feeling, it seems, and it's working out so far. The anti-ecos are just bursting into bomb sites. They're playing the numbers and abusing their advantages. They're not giving the CTs time to find that information, to find an exploitative rotation. You had that one round where Olofmeister got hit by the smoke grenade and ended up in the underpass with a lot of information and a frag. But outside of things like that, Renegades are really stifling FaZe Clan and limiting their options and, importantly, keeping them poor.
Yeah. Yeah, indeed. It's been really rough, honestly. I'm surprised that they're struggling so badly, FaZe. It's just that they're just missing some kills that I just would normally, I feel like they make every day as well. So at least it's a best of 3. Got some time to warm up here today. Renegades, their confidence is building all the time, though. We're going to get a quick rotation after the presence in mid back to A. This could be pretty nice because they will get their set piece off and FaZe are still out of position on the A side. Having players close really helps to deal with this, but they're going to be locked out. Quick peek before the smoke blooms from Rain. Oh, the collateral from Guardian, not bad at all. And now that's going to really stifle things here for Renegades. Getting across to a plant now has to be done very quickly. When these smokes go down, they are going to be pretty screwed. And it looks like they might be screwed anyway.
Yeah, they are in a lot of trouble. And the money is not great, really. If Gratisfaction loses his AWP, then the next buy is going to be very ropey for Renegade. So I do wonder what they're going to try and do with this minute. I think he may just hold an angle and wait for someone to look for information. And as time continues, the CTs will spread into more of a default, although Olofmeister is top mid with an AWP. It's a very strong response from FaZe Clan. So while Renegades were posting up after deploying smokes in the mid position, while they were posting up towards the A bomb site, FaZe Clan had a swing in the mid position with 3 players, 2 from short and I think 1 in connector. So FaZe Clan are trying to catch Renegades off guard like they did with those P250s and 5.7s in the mid area. So if Renegades loiter and they take too long, FaZe Clan are ready to make these aggressive plays, and you can see that on the radar in these particular rounds. So it seems that FaZe Clan are trying to hard counter the hesitation we sometimes see from Renegades, be it hesitation or just a slow round. But again, they've completely changed things up, it seems, here with the fast rounds we've seen so far. So that hasn't worked out for FaZe Clan. And while they'll get around on the board, it is a different Renegades we're seeing, but indeed money is an issue, and they really did need to hold on to these weapons. Gratisfaction with 4,900 can drop. Jacob's got 4,850, so they can buy around what they have, but those two really needed to stay alive.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll get a look at that double from Guardian. That changed everything. I wonder if that was through the smoke or if it was one of those shots where you jump up on the box to look over the smokes and you just go for it. That play is very risky because it can, often that's the only spot where you can be challenged when you're coming in, unless there's a bench peek from the CTs. So lots of times, you're going to get nailed going for that. So I wonder if it was just a straight shot through the smoke or if it was over the top of the smoke from Guardian. But either way, it was a play that just effectively won them the round in one bullet. Oh, it was by triple. All right, he's actually forward in front of the smoke by triple. Just as the smoke blooms, they think it's safe, but it ain't. Guardian ready by triple with all the damage.
Okay, so it's a pretty good buy for Renegades. We explained the economic situation towards the end of that round already, and we can see Olofmeister posting up in that short position. And again, have a look at the radar. Neo's moving in as well. Here are the flashbangs. So this is a repeat of what they did in the previous round. Rain may, I think his flashbang hit a player, so he won't go forward straight away. But on the second attempt, it's just not working out, is it? They may lose Olofmeister as well. He's got to fall back. In the meantime, there is a push towards the B bomb site. But Olofmeister still has a choke point, as is there to trade, however. That's where Gratisfaction is. He's
out of position. I don't think you can do anything here. These fast rounds, James, they're really causing problems for FaZe, aren't they?
Well, the counter I spoke about in the previous round when nobody was in mid, they just did the same thing this time. I think it got weird because it looks like Rain's flash through connector hit someone in the smoke, which stopped him from going when he wanted to go. But when they did push, it just didn't work out. For whatever reason, Jacob, I don't think he was blind. He got 2 kills. connector push and the short push. That's at least the third time they've done it, and still it is 9-4. There aren't many more rounds to try and do it, but this, if they were hinging everything on this play in mid, it's not really happening for them at the moment, FaZe. And again, this is last chance saloon for both these teams. This is a must win. Vanguard took out G2 to put G2 into 2-2 territory. FaZe and Renegades, 1 win and 2 losses at the moment. FaZe Clan still with a full buy to 2 AWPs and lots of utility. Nico's turn to go into the underpass, giving himself some cover. This is a gimmicky smoke, but the T's should see this. They should see the corner of this and realize what might be going on. And just about Jacob, he's been important in his mid position for Renegades. And there's the smoke. Will there be a timing shot from Guardian? There will be, but it misses.
I actually thought that that gimmick smoke was a setup, a bait, so that there's like, oh, it's the smoke. You must know that the guy's there, and then they walk into Guardian, which is that he's holding the angle which covers Nico. I thought that's what that play was about, but Nico goes to the peak before, and he worried about the underpass timings. Oh, that boost coming in from JKM there will take down Guardian, and it is problem after problem here for FaZe. Rain covering the shadow position, but JKS it looks like he's just worrying about the potential for a flank here. The bomb might just be going towards B, which could be good for FaZe ultimately. olofmeister's been the player who has been consistently delivering here. The only one that's really been consistently delivering so far for FaZe, and he's towards that B position. However, it does look like now we see the A movement rotation from Renegades, and Neo is going to move his way across the CT. So it looks like there's a chance for a hold here for FaZe, as they now also move olofmeister towards A as well.
That clock is ticking. A leg has been spotted. Rain can communicate that. There's a flashbang in CT spawn. Not sure what's going on there, but in the meantime, oh my god, I don't even know what just happened.
Line
five kills just came out of absolutely nowhere. Through Connector. It seems Connector was the main bulk of the play, and JKS was waiting for them to run distraction so he could lurk, but they all died in about 3 seconds.
Look how the odds have swung in favor of Renegades.
Yeah, these are odds per map, and they do change in running, so keep an eye on them. They will continue to develop. But it's interesting because, yes, Renegades have a lot of momentum on their T side, but their T side will soon be over. They just lost a huge round. They've got no money left, so we might see a close score at halftime. I think 6-9 would be close enough for FaZe Clan. Guardian takes out a player by Sandwich. He's got some support, I think, from Neo on the stairs. Misses a second shot, though. Rain will take Jacob out in the meantime. There is utility to be used. There are some incendiaries for FaZe. Satisfaction and JKS remain. Stereo frags to FaZe Clan. They make it to 5.
And suddenly, snap of the fingers, FaZe are from 3 rounds to 5. And in a very quick fashion, it feels like. It's good to see they have a fighting chance going to that next half. It's still going to be difficult. Those Renegades threatening the 10th rounds. I wonder what they'll be throwing at FaZe at this point. They've been, again, favoring those faster rounds against them up to this point, and it's been favoring them.
I think Guardian, well, I think the CTs should drop some rifles in CT spawn just in case they need to rotate and drop an AWP and pick up a rifle. You never know. Jacob with a nice angle, but he doesn't quite have a fatal spray. There's a gap, and that won't favor Azza. Again, when you're so close to the smoke like that and you peek, it's not to your advantage. It's to the advantage of anybody further away, although he doesn't know that until it's too late. JKS fighting back, looking for more star play here on the T side in the last round. The bomb moving over towards the bench position. Rain not quite being able to see with that spray through the smoke, and we explained that already. And here we go, 2 AWPs on the retake, so Guardian's angle will be good for now. Spots one in Palace, sees an elbow. JKS makes his way out, but things will start to slow down. Neo in jungle now. There's nowhere safe to plant the bomb, but there is a minute on the clock. There's also a flank from olofmeister, and JKS is moonwalking into his direction. Low already, the CZ will come into play, and Gratisfaction looks one way, taken out from another, and it will indeed be 6 rounds for FaZe Clan at halftime.
That's workable, that's doable, it's recoverable. FaZe Clan move into the second half with a fighting chance against Renegades after a slow start. Let's see if they can change their fates here after the break. See you soon. Welcome back, ladies and gents. We are going into the second half of the first map in this best of 3 series, this elimination best of 3 here at the Berlin Major. One of these two teams will be eliminated today. Will it be FaZe or Renegades? Well, we're not too close to finding out. It's a relatively even score coming into this second half of Mirage. FaZe definitely with a struggle on that first half, and a lot to answer for as they move into this T side. Renegades, they've been looking much better so far than they have in the previous games. So we have a series on our hands, that is to be certain.
Neo with a smoke and 2 flashes. Nico with a smoke and a flash. Neo coming from a team who will often have 3 players with grenades on the T side versus Pro, of course. I wonder if these smokes will be going towards the arch position. There is a flash ahead of his teammates going over the roof. And there is a very deep one. I knew how to do this on the old Mirage before they changed that big tower. Nice headshot from Gratisfaction. They'll have to wait for the smoke to go now. We still have a FaZe Clan member very deep in the department looking for a rotation that will never come. They're focusing on short, it seems, Renegades.
Yeah, it's going to be difficult to burst through, especially if Olofmeister's on point. He has been so far the point man for FaZe, and he'll deliver again. Olofmeister, so deadly. One more to go. He's done critical damage. Another headshot found. Another 4K in a pistol from Olofmeister. Let's go. Swedish Counter-Strike representative Olofmeister. It's good to see him having a good game, James. It really is.
I think it was when the developers opened the skyboxes on Mirage, they changed the tower in B apartments. The old tower, you could line up that that short smoke, which Guardian used to do for Na'Vi, if I remember correctly. I haven't bothered to learn it for this one, but it is quite good, generally speaking, because it makes a short player have to take a decision. And it seems FaZe Clan will take a leaf out of the Renegades book and just charge into the B bomb site. Anything you can do, we can do as well. We've got the smokes up. We've got Nico jumping around corners, and that's how you go through the smoke fast. He'll still take one in the face from Jacob, who looks for a second. But with 3 players remaining, he may look to back off. Indeed, it will be a retreat. Pretty much a mirror of what we saw in the first half. 3 CTs moving away with a scout after a fast play into the B bomb site.
Yeah, I won't say Nico won the round for them, but I would say that he guaranteed the round for them. First man in on that Mac 10. Gratisfaction will be teased a little bit there by... Who was that? Who was that cheeky man? It was Guardian, of course. So FaZe will be bouncing back. Looks like they should be on point to equalize. They just have to survive against the following round, of which Renegades, of course, get to save most of what they bought in this one. So the Scout, the Deagle, the CZ to be worrying about. And much like the situation in the first half, where Renegades found success of pretty much the same round, actually, it was, I think, almost the same smokes. FaZe can go for the same play into B if they want. What Renegades did, instead of doing the same plays, they went towards connector and middle, and they just kind of posted up there and then eventually got into the A bomb side. So I wonder which option FaZe will pick. Will they go for the same route as Renegades? Will they go for the B rush again?
So again, my go-to V pick for the T side of FaZe Clan is Olofmeister. I think if you see him approach the connector position, you see how he tries to protect himself from the peaks from Toll Booth and so on. Rain taking some early damage, but he's a man who can take it with the Mac 10. And we've got some CT frags here, but now we've got no more CTs. JKS is in the connector area. He's a fair few miles away from the situation on the B bomb site. Look how thorough FaZe Clan are being, making sure he's on the site somewhere, looking to do some damage. You've got to respect JKS. He is extremely dangerous. And the bomb will get planted in the default spot. FaZe Clan still have Olofmeister in an elevated position with an off angle, so all is well. It really is a mirror of the first half, it seems.
Yeah.
So far.
Just accept FaZe going towards B instead of connector, and that's really the only difference. But just as effective, and you know, you guys at home can see that. If you move into the bomb site as a team, and you have your Mac 10s going first, and you throw the correct grenades, it doesn't matter if the CTs stack the bomb site. It just doesn't matter.
It sometimes does.
Well, you still have significant advantages.
Yeah.
And unless you play too scared or you're too tentative, but if you just jump in there with the team with the flashbangs and everything,
it can be strong. It often is.
You're good to go. You're good to go. 9-9, and the AWP comes out for Gratisfaction. Now we'll see a change. The real Counter-Strikes begins.
Guardian versus Gratisfaction. I'd say that Gratisfaction is a more aggressive sniper. Guardian is an excellent sniper, of course, but I think stylistically they're a little different. We may see some more brazen peaks from Gratisfaction. I think Guardian, he's an extremely effective sniper, but I think he's a little safer. So we will see what both of these players are able to do. T-sniping on Mirage is not easy. And Gratisfaction will get off to a good start. Olofmeister's taken out. FaZe Clan with a focus towards the B bomb site. Liaz is very blind. And Nico's going for the 180. But he won't get his Esperanto game on just yet. Man advantage for Renegades trying to hold control for the retake. I don't know if they know if anyone's made it to the bench position just yet. Range shows an arm. That's enough for Gratisfaction. Guardian's there to trade. Post-plant, the sniper's going to be a lot more effective. Yeah,
that's a really big kill because now he can, as you see, smoke off that door position. Now post up on the window. And there's not too much that Renegades are going to be able to do to stop this. It's a beautiful flick from Guardian. Can't connect onto Azza. But of course, Neo's there waiting around the corner. Oh dear, Jacob's crept into position. Neo's now exposed. Can't find Azza in time. It's a full defuse here against the bomb. I think he's got just enough time here. He'll be okay with this one, I think. It's looking good. And Azza will lock it down. And oh, that feels like Renegades, they picked such a good timing there. That was a very close one.
Yeah, I think Guardian will be frustrated with the reposition, exposing himself to the window.
Yeah.
And that will put Renegades in the lead once again. What the hell was that? I didn't even see Olofmeister in that one. But Gratisfaction is looking sharp early on the CT side. He has the luxury of the angles, of course. And those are pretty solid. Guardian had the actual, he had the inverse, well, or maybe the reverse is more appropriate. He had the reverse angle. Again, if you're a CT and you're on market and the Ts are taking the B bomb site, if you have an AWP and you can hold that diagonal angle through window to make sure no Ts are crossing towards bench, it's very valuable information when your team are rotating. But Guardian had the other end of that, stopping Jacob, I think it was, from moving into market in the first place. So there are some shortcomings for Renegades in this buy. We've got the MP9, we've got the French weapon, and a lack of grenades on some of the players. So you could argue that FaZe Clan are better equipped, but will they be able to convert the round? They'll start slow. You can see passive angles being held towards the A-bomb site, looking for a push, just holding all the angles and making sure that Renegades aren't doing anything too crazy, and if they are, to capitalize on the opportunity afforded to them.
50 seconds to go as FaZe start to organize themselves. Looking to go for this split onto A. They don't have connector control yet, though. Jacob's still posted up there, but Jacob doesn't have any nades left. So Jacob can't really prevent them from going into connector, and he's only got a FAMAS. Although Rain's only got a Galil, but he does have a teammate to help him to go for the trade. Jacob intelligently backs away. We'll see the smoke in the window poses the threat of a boost, so he has to take that position. In front of the smoke now, Jacob goes. This has to be a big one. Gets the first headshot. There's the trade, though. Olofmeister and Neo dealing with the side defense. But, oh, lurking Azza is also caught by Nico. Good cognizance there from FaZe to make sure they check every single box. And that's going to be the bomb site gone.
Liaz and Gratisfaction remaining. Liaz gets an upgrade, but they don't have position. There are some grenades, but there's no Kevlar for Gratisfaction. He can't really take a duel. Good weapon for the job. But there's no diffuse kit either, so Renegades will be forced to back off. You saw FaZe Clan, while they were holding those passive angles at the start of the round and towards the mid-round, they were discussing with each other, okay, this is the plan, this is what we're going to do. Then you heard the ready call there. We've got some cameras and microphones, so there's a little discussion that will seep into the broadcast. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that's quite cool.
No abuse of the television in the entrance to B apartments. It's interesting because it's not too much. Yeah. It's not like releasing a VOD with your entire comms on, where all your hard counter-strikes and so on get revealed, and all the hard work you've done is lost in one game, essentially. That is too much. As good as it is, it's too much information for the viewers. Yeah. 10 to 10, Renegades, their money is all over the place. This is all going to be about Gratisfaction trying to get a forward play, pick off a player. Same for Liaz with that Krieg. That can be very, very strong indeed. Gratisfaction is in the market position at the moment, so all these pushes of the B bomb site from FaZe Clan are having Renegades read it, just as FaZe Clan did a little when they were on the CT side. initial grenades will slow things down, so we'll see how long Gratifection stays there for. Indeed, as I say that, well, he's moving backwards. We can see the smoke start to be deployed. Liaz, in the meantime, is in connector, where there may be some action later on.
And looking to cause problems. You just need that first frag if you're Renegades, just that first bit of chaos. But it's hard to find. Oh my God, Liaz. Yeah, I don't want to peek that, dude. It's a warning shot and a half from Guardian as FaZe look ready to take connector now. They'll molly the short position, which allows them to start harassing connector more, and also threatening that they're going up towards connector as well. Sorry, towards short as well. Playing it slow, FaZe, looking for some kind of a response, some kind of a play, and here is one. JKS pushing T-spawn. He's got a lot of information for his team, but what does that tell them? They stacked B, that might just convince them to stay towards B. Yeah,
we have a lurker in Palace, which hasn't been identified by JKS, so this is going to be a problem indeed. This is going to encourage them to hold towards B. However, they've got Azza on the balcony, and he doesn't see anything either, so there's a big question mark. They don't have any vision of shorts, so there's a lot of issues here for the Renegade squad. Liaz has been taken out, which leaves A completely open. Now, a lot of these players don't have much to lose, and surely JKS is going to be integral to this. Can he stop the bomb plant? It's going down on triple, but he's not really going for it at the moment. He's picked a little too late. That would have bought some more time for Renegades, but he's the only investment in this round. The rest of them are going to hold on to the B bomb site and basically try to help Gratifection hold on to his AWP.
Yeah, I was going to say, Jakem could be pretty key in making sure that they can keep the Kevlar and on both players and the AWP on the Gratifection alive. I mean, you can see FaZe already spreading around the map. Plenty of time to go for the hunts. Finish off those remaining weapons. Jakem might be the first to fall here as we see Neo getting close. Does he hear the jumping? Does he go for the push? You can see he's quite worried about any play in the kitchen there. Pop flash for that. Jakem going for the peek. He's been spotted now. Do they have a Molotov for this? Because I don't think Jakem's going to peek into the door ever again. And it looks like everyone will survive. So 11 to 10, FaZe will take the lead.
It's getting tight now.
It is. Looking much better for FaZe.
Renegades have only won a single round in their CT half so far. That's not a good look for them. As close as the score is now, in the reality of this half, it's not close at all. It is not close at all. We have seen 4 bomb plants, one of which was a defuse win for Renegades. The rest was successful for FaZe Clan. Second AWP on Liaz. Olofmeister moving close through the smoke. Jakem gets absolutely deleted. That forces Gratifection from his position. Maybe he's fortunate to even be alive. The HE could have been a lot, but it was nothing. Went the wrong way. Some nervousness, perhaps. Olofmeister creeping around the smoke, and Gratifection is in a tough spot. Could make a play around the bench, but it would probably be suicide. 4 versus 5 on a retake. We've got Liaz still towards that short position, and Gratifection is being forced further and further away. They've got no position towards CT, and it will be a 4-man save. This is very Dust 2-esque. Not often you see 4 players saving on the CT side in the full buy.
Especially with this much utility for the retake on A. It's a strong retake bomb site if you have the utility. And Olofmeister, it wasn't even really much of a luck. He started rotating for the flank immediately when he was in the middle, but he might get caught here. You can see he's going to spot everybody. It's okay to sack Olofmeister for this info. Yeah, it's whiffing the shot there. It's a tight one. And there goes the smoke. I don't think they can really do too much, FaZe. Maybe a boost over the smoke, but perhaps that's a bit too telegraphed. So, all the weapons will be kept alive, but it's another round for FaZe. Good round from Olofmeister. That one kill applied so much pressure. He took over middle by himself with that one. And the pace of the push into A was very fast after that point. And that just ran Renegades over. It feels like Renegades need to try to get or take the initiative away from FaZe early in one of these rounds. That might be an answer. Well,
it tried in the previous round, but Olofmeister making the play through the short smoke, catching the player in connector, just ruined all of that. Gratifection not in a position to multi-frag with the AWP. He was through connector beyond the smoke grenade. So they made a forward play, but it's the wrong play. On that occasion, Molotovs, or incendiaries rather, top mid will force Rain into the smoke. But again, the challenge at this point is limited. 2 players around that connector area. And Guardian looks to clear out some space towards B.
So mid for FaZe again, and Guardian indeed. He's looking for that pick. And it's a lot of this hinges on whether Guardian gets something or not. If he doesn't get anything, then of course FaZe can't really consider B. They'll have to go and get that bomb and hit up the A bomb site most likely, or try to work on a pick in and around middle. 1 minute to go. Jacob looking for that boost. Oh, that looked like it was a chance for the Guardian. Wasn't quite ready for it though. Was he spotted? He surely was.
Meanwhile, Azza has started to push forward on the ramp. So there's the forward plays we need. Now, Guardian had a forward angle earlier on to try and deny information towards that B area, but it hasn't quite gone the way you thought it would. And now we're in a 4 versus 3 situation for Renegades. They've got a pick on short, a pick on B, a plateau. And we see JKS looking to hold down the CT position once more. As I said before, Azza's position is very forward, so there's a crossfire on the site. Now, FaZe kind of wondering where the CTs are. You see the attention turn to the A bomb site. JKS playing for the retake, but if he's more aggressive, it's going to be hard for the bomb to get planted. They are attempting it. Az is waiting as well, so they're looking to secure the round post-plant Renegades. 2 men rotating in now.
Yeah, 2 AWPs though, although they have the 1 incendiary and 1 smoke, it will be problematic. Azza, he has to die here for FaZe to make this one work. Oh, Nico's going to spot him. He might have a chance for this, but no, gets denied ultimately. And now it's up to Olofmeister and Rain. Olofmeister has been the key player, and that's a great nade to start things off. If Rain can get 1 more, oh my goodness. Aerial maneuvering from Liaz keeps himself alive. Now Olofmeister comes in. Liaz shuts it down with a follow-up kill, and the defuse will be in time. Renegades pick up the rounds, and that wasn't the easiest one for FaZe, was it?
It was not. But that's the kind of proactive play you need from Renegades. They can't just sit there and be reactive all over the map. They've got to do something forward. As they're moving into a strong position on the ramp, certainly helped in the late game. But once more, FaZe Clan were trying to deny the information. They had strong presence in the mid position. Guardian forced the CTs away if they were trying to do something forward or get on the balcony towards B. But they did re-aggress, as did he, and he lost that duel on this occasion. So, important actions going the way of Renegades. This time it might be a fast B split. Look at the smokes up in the mid position for Renegades and the continued flashbangs as well. Jacob unable to do anything, and here we go. It is a race car split of the B bomb site. Liaz alive for now. Nico in the red. They are buying time for a rotation. Neo's in the red as well, but he's got position with the bomb. He's moving in for a bomb plant just as the CTs get into position and hold their angles. Granite's faction. Oh, Neo gets exploded. That is complete shrapnel. Lovely flick from him. 2 versus 3 now. FaZe Clan trying to hold on. They equal the score in terms of the numbers. Olofmeister moving off the balcony now. His last scene is really old, and JKS is left alone. 1 versus 2. Guardian with the previous frag. You can see JKS still looking for Olofmeister on the balcony, but he's nowhere near there. The trajectory will tell a story, and he's walking into a crossfire now. Olofmeister will put him out of his misery. FaZe Clan back to winning ways. 3 rounds away from the first map.
Olofmeister delivering key kills again. And FaZe creep indeed to closer and closer to a win. It looks like it's under control. I didn't expect Renegades to struggle so much on the CT side. We saw some great shots there. The fact that Nico got the bomb down so quickly was really impressive, because you see that nade coming into his position immediately after. He just barely got that bomb down in time. If he didn't get the bomb down, I think the round is probably too difficult, because with all the CT ops posted up, the bomb is then unrecoverable. So that was a really tight situation, and 13-11 is the scoreline. But lots of time here for Renegades, as their money's not too much of an issue.
Olofmeister with almost 30 kills. 26 for 13 at the moment. He's almost got double anybody else on his team.
Yeah, I think he was 20 kills going out of the first half.
Yep, so he's having a whale of the time. Very comfortable on Mirage, as one would expect. A man of his caliber. Renegade still with another bye, still with the 2 AWPs, 2 rounds behind. But again, if you look at the success in this half, they've only won 2 rounds. They've won 2 of 9 rounds, which is losing mathematical game. We've got fast grenades towards the B bomb site. FaZe Clan trying to pull rotation. Look at the radar, the sheer level of utility. They've got 4 smoke grenades and 2 Molotovs in the B bomb site FaZe Clan, so there's no way to even see what's going on. Renegades have been pulled from pillar to post. They are completely out of position. That is fantastic from FaZe Clan. That was really fast, and to play off of that after the previous round might be masterful from them.
Yeah, this is pretty tough. Typically in spots like this, though, on this map, again, you know, the SK version with, you know, the Brazilian core oh so long ago, they showed how consistent you can be in retaking the A-bomb site. I mean, obviously that is some time ago, but still, if you have the utility, if you lose the site quickly, you can play retake on A pretty effectively with the smokes and incendiaries if you know what you're doing. But you can see that there wasn't really a chance here for Renegades. And that's another one going the way of FaZe. That's not really, they can't really afford to be in this position, Renegades.
Those two rounds, that's one strat together from FaZe Clan. That was brilliant. It's not often we can identify 2 consecutive rounds as one kind of overall strat, but certainly they gave the evidence in the round prior with the fast B split, and then just there were so many smokes on the B bomb site, you can't really identify what is going on. They could have even thrown a decoy for fun. 14-11, Renegades hold on to enough to buy around what they have. Gratisfaction has no Kevlar in this round, but he does have the AWP, and there's a fast play from Renegades, a forward play towards the top mid position. Smoke up on short, they will deploy a lot of grenades, but FaZe Clan know there's an investment towards mid, and they'll charge into the A bomb site and try and capitalize on this.
Double molly, that's not going to be good for Gratisfaction. He's out of the picture, but JKS is back in. Great peek comes from him as he gets a couple on the M4 spray, and now it's Guardian and Olofmeister to look to clutch this one. It will be difficult. All the grenades here in the world for them to work with, but no teammates. Good positioning here for Renegades. Got some grenades of their own. That Molotov is extinguished. That will be causing some issues here for FaZe, as that bomb is down in no man's land, and the push is coming in from CT surely soon enough as Guardian goes across with the P250. He knows it's desperate, jumping around all over the place. And Olofmeister, he's so far away. Guardian could have waited for him, but instead, Olofmeister has to now do it alone. Doesn't look like a good prospect for him. Oh, there you go, nice peek from Liaz. And that's a wrap. Renegades pick up their 3rd round on the CT side.
(27-15) now, Olofmeister. JKS did a pretty good job, but FaZe Clan are still 2 rounds to the good. FaZe Clan, though, are running out of money. This is really interesting. Their loss bonus is very, very small, FaZe Clan, because Renegades have not been able to string any rounds together. So we could, if Renegades can win this run, we would be in a very bizarre situation. So we had a fast B split from FaZe Clan. We had a huge dump of grenades in the B bomb site to pull Renegades away and make a play towards A. Now we see another huge dump. Is this a continuation? I think there's a collateral leg. Rain and Nico getting taken out in one shot. Liaz holding on for the time being, down to the pistol. Nico taken out and fall to the flames, but there are so many people here for FaZe, but they are all stuck in the choke point, and they might not make it out looking at the HP on these players. One player down to the floor. Nico on 4 HP. How on earth can they hold on to this round, FaZe Clan? The smokes is still up. They've got some damage through the smoke for the time being, but they're just so low.
That kill from Neo was really important. That unlocked the B bomb site. They're able to get his whole team out of the apartments in that 3v3. The chaos of all the smokes as well, causing so many issues here for Renegades as they now just wait. They just wait for the bomb to go down. They just want to make sure that they understand where one of the 2 players is. So it allows some setup time here for FaZe. Almost a gentleman's agreement as the creep comes in, actually, from Renegades. They're starting to move towards the window, as well as the door position. Guardian planting for short, Rain clearing short. Guardian slightly exposed to door, gets past the choke point just in time. And he's safe once again. The flick shot missed as he goes back to the well once again, trying to find these CT players. Rain is on 7 HP. Guardian can't really afford to leave Rain alone here. They've got to activate together in this 2 versus 2 as down goes the smoke and down goes Guardian. It's up to Rain. 7 points of health. They don't know exactly where he is. Playing the pillar. The bomb getting really ticked. There goes the play in the smoke. There's the defuse. There it is for Rain. That is fantastic from Rain. And that is going to be map point for FaZe. What a clutch from Mr. Rain.
His HP was tiny. He had to land the headshots, and he absolutely did. They had to win the round phase. They had to plant the bomb to start with. So many things could have gone wrong for him there. That's not a round he should be winning. 7 HP. They had no idea where he was. It was all Guardian playing with Rangers hiding behind the pillar, and it worked to a T. Renegades still able to eke out a good buy. Gratisfaction again with the AWP and no Kevlar. Main limitation is Liaz with the MP9. Renegades need 3 from 3. Man, some of these rounds have been crazy. Clutches from both squads. The 4K from JKS. That one from Rain. Jacob, very forward position, shoots Nico straight in the head and follows up nicely.
A good start for Renegades. But FaZe do have middle as consolation to losing Nico early in Palace. And it's a conservative setup for Renegades ultimately, which makes sense given that they have already a lead in terms of players. Although that could have been Gratisfaction down, so that's a scary one for Gratisfaction, but he does survive. It was a miss from Guardian. Olofmeister harassing the B apartments. And lots of space on the map here for FaZe, but they have to work out what to do with that space. And even though Renegades have the man advantage, they don't have really any utility remaining. Just 2 nades on JKM, a smoke and an HE, and a flashbang on JKS. That's it. And in go FaZe for the rotation to A.
Renegades playing the waiting game. Far back positions, save for Azza on the A-bomb site. But with Neo in connector, there's a lot that could be done here. JKM keeping an eye on the window. As the call of the grenades coming in will be heard, he will start to make a forward play. He'll hear Neo running on a short position. JKS holding the off angle. Some call this get right. There we go. Looking towards CT. You'll get cut to pieces, leaving Guardian alone now. $700. There won't be a bomb plant in this round. Renegades need not chase. Look at their cash. They shouldn't be chasing. They need the money themselves. They don't want to end up with more MP9s and so on in the rounds to come. But Gratisfaction seems to want to peak. If he died there, there'd be no money for an AWP. That's 1 round in the bag. Guardian can be devastating with this AWP. But what do the team choose to do now? FaZe have a decision to make.
I think that saving one makes the most sense, like a full save around the AWP. They're in a situation where they only get 1 round to have a buy. If they spend everything here, they're not going to have a buy really in the next round as well. So you're looking to just save this one, give Renegades 14, or maybe you win it with Guardian on the AWP, and then have your best possible buy. As you're only going to get 1 proper buy, and that's if you save now. So I'm just going to check their loss bonus. Yes, it's obviously kind of messed up here. So yeah, it's a really weird situation. Obviously, they would really like a bomb plant in this round. I'm curious to see if Guardian's going to play extremely aggressive at the opening. I mean, I feel like that's probably one of the only ways you win this round is if Guardian gets an early kill, and then you have lots of time and lots of space to work with on the map.
FaZe are likely to be playing the next round without an AWP, which wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but I mean, you do have Guardian, but such is life. He'll get a tag onto JKM as he makes his way towards that connector position. Lots of early utility here, trying to stop any shenanigans from FaZe. The whole team is here. They've got a few grenades. This could be the round. If you look at the setup from Renegades, the only person who is here is JKS. There's only 1 player in Palace, though, so maybe there's a chance that he could survive, but he is in a lot of trouble. We've got JKM starting to rotate, and that is going to be quite timely and much needed. Will there be any grenades, though? FaZe Clan, they're just going to take a gamble. They're sending Rain in as a sentry. He'll see nothing in the shadow position. Getting his bell rung. There we go to trade. JKS is almost guaranteed to go down. That's a big frag, though, with the AWP getting taken out of play. But it's a trade now. 3 versus 3. Olofmeister's picked up the AWP. He's very strong with it as well. So anything could happen. We've got Molotovs towards the fireboxes. Nobody there. Olofmeister having a look. He's got the footsteps. He scopes in. Surely it's heard by the CTs.
Yeah, that smoke is going to cause some problems for Olofmeister. They can get really close to him. Neo only has a Glock. He can't really cover Olofmeister very well. The defuse comes in and the smoke, I don't think he can stop it. Indeed, that's the defuse going to Renegades. So a nice little cheeky headshot at the end from Olofmeister, but ultimately, as it was always going to be, it is the round for Renegades. However, we talked about this. We said FaZe had to get the bomb plant, and they managed to do that. So that you know, you can check that box, and now they get the best possible buy. And that is the reason why they saved in that previous round. Sure, Guardian's only going to have a deagle here, but if you sacrifice, you know, the AWP in the previous round for the bomb plant, so your whole team can be maxed out on utility and everything else in this following round, that's worth it. That's definitely worth it.
Big opportunity for Renegades. They've won 3 of the last 4 rounds. Again, they broke the money at the right time for FaZe Clan, and they've given themselves a chance. But when there's been money for both teams, it's been mostly FaZe Clan. Nico and Palace. Rain towards top mid. More traditional setup this time from Renegades. 2-1-2. Aliaz on the balcony of B. There's a smoke up at the moment, and Olofmeister wants to have a look-see, show some presence. Quietly move away. That'll force the use of an incendiary, which is interesting. There are some really nice pop flashes from the window position on the B bomb site for a peek, but we're not going to see that this time. They show presence towards B. They regroup towards A for an execute. This will be a big abuse of the numbers. Once again, we can see that JKS has been left in a very difficult position because no one's near him, and here come the grenades.
Again, you're completely right. He's out there alone. He needs some teammates to flash, just throw some high flashes here, but Nico's going to peek him. Oh my god, the lineup there is good for 2 for Jacob. That is very important. That gives enough space for Renegades to work with here. Oh, Gratisfaction through the smoke denies the plant, and that is a beautiful frag. That buys even more time for Renegades as they make their way across the CT, and the options start to get limited now for FaZe because they can't plant anymore, and there's no time to do so. Big risks have to be taken. Ray's got the most HP. He can't be the man to do this. There's such an easy kill for Gratisfaction, and the overtime has been secured by Renegades. Would you believe it? In such fashion. What an AWP shot from Gratisfaction.
The man knows his angles. I think that was 4 rounds from the last 5, which is important looking at overtime because, yes, there'll be full money for both teams, but maybe there's some momentum to be had here for Renegades because, again, the CT side did look difficult when it was full buy versus full buy, but as they got that second wind in the late game, they may take the wind in their strides and have a lead here to start with.
Oh, man. That push to bench as well, James. There's often a Molotov placed there to prevent that from happening.
Yep.
Wait, was there a Molotov there? Did he just...
I don't know.
I don't think there was. Either way, man, Renegades with some huge plays. You're right. You know, they made so many rounds work in the tail end of that half. And here we are. The big red reset button has been pressed. All past sins have been cleansed. They've been forgiven. They've been forgotten. And now everyone has money. But who will play the better Counter-Strike? FaZe will stay on this T side and looking to harass the B apartments here.
Ooh. We've seen plenty of sprays through smokes from Olofmeister and kills found in that position. CT's trying to jump up on the balcony behind the smoke grenade. There'll be an important trade around connector. Jacob and JKS have been very important for multi-frags, and JKS has taken up. Surely these are huge odds for FaZe Clan to take the first round now. Yes. As eating the flashbang, turning away. I think it went through his legs, but he's still alive for the time being.
Yeah, it's looking really good. It goes to the challenge, and Olofmeister's absolutely ready for that one. Oh dear, that's quite the miss from Gratisfaction. He will not be able to recover from that in time. So indeed, I think you're quite correct. It is now extremely difficult for Liaz. I would almost want to see a save of the M4. The damage is not that important. Once the T's get a bomb down, even if they lose a bunch of the first 2 rounds, they can still buy in the 3rd round. But for the CTs, it's not quite the same story. So you don't need to go for frags, but he's really threatening this one, Liaz. I don't think they were convinced that at first he's going to go for it, but he is pushed towards the bomb now. So he's making things look a little bit hairy here for the FaZe team. He's just tapping the bomb. He just wants damage. This guy's the savage, James. He just wants to go down in in a hail of blood. Yeah,
I respect the attempt. I do think it is worth considering saving because if you lose the next round, you're going to have shortcomings. Gratisfaction's got 48.50 in the bank. He's going to have to drop an M4 and be thrown in an AWP by a teammate. But they're on the buy. That is the first round away of FaZe Clan. When Jacob and JKS are your first 2 frags, you've pretty much won the round, I think, because they've been so important towards the A bomb site. They've both been getting a number of multi-frags. It's been very, very important. Rain's trying to block his teammate, it seems. We've got that smoke up top from the likes of Renegades. Having a look, and there's nobody there. But this time, FaZe Clan are not in position to capitalize on this. Last time there was a 2-3-man push in mid from Renegades. FaZe Clan were mostly towards the A bomb site, and they chose to charge because they knew there was weakness there. On this occasion, they're more spread out, just trying to look for pushes, generally speaking, across the map. So there will be no fast response.
Yeah, so Renegades, you know, in that take of middle as well, you know, it is annoying for FaZe. You know, it slows down a default, it slows down that mid take. But again, it is, you know, you are committing players to sitting in middle like this for quite an extended period of time, which means that's players that aren't present elsewhere. So, and also right now, Renegades don't have at the 1 minute mark. Sure, they have middle, but where are FaZe? You know, what are they actually doing? And there's no information towards Palace, towards Ramp, or towards B apartments to really suggest to give Renegades an idea of where FaZe are, because they could be setting up for a set piece on either bomb site. Now the A bomb site's more retakeable, so we get some smokes in middle here for the late mid take, but hey, it's actually going to be an A push. Guardian opens it up. Gratisfaction, I think, looking towards connector perhaps. I'm not sure where he was looking, but he will go down. And this bomb site will be taken by FaZe. Beautiful round, I have to say, from them.
Yeah, it's pretty late on the clock to still be in that mid position as CTs and just one player on the A bomb site. It's not going to work out for them. And it is safe territory for Renegades because otherwise they're going to be broken the next round. But it seems they still want to try and go for it. Well, they had a look, but I think the call has been made that it's time to fall back and save. So it indeed won't be momentum for Renegades in this overtime on the CT side. Heavily invested in a mid position again. I don't know if FaZe kind of have recognized with their executes into the A bomb site that there's often just one person in a position where they can't really retreat. Obviously, it was a little different on this occasion with Gratisfaction there instead of JKS, but the result is the same. The round goes to FaZe Clan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly. If at like 1 minute mark, at the 1 minute mark you have mid, but no other information, you're too much in the dark at that point. And that's the timing in which, okay, the push on the bomb site starts to get a bit risky. And you can see the key survival here for 2 players on Renegades.
What was really cool at the very end of that round is that Olofmeister, he had like 5 HP or something. He went and just sat on the bomb and died on the bomb with an AWP, which is cool for a number of reasons. A, it makes sure there's 0% chance of any funky defuse, but also it's the last round of overtime. He could just buy another AWP if he wants to, and it means that there's no chance of a CT picking him off somewhere if someone slipped through the cracks to get an AWP. And you can see the difference. Gratisfaction has a scout, so that presence of mind is awesome from Olofmeister. FaZe Clan charging into the A bomb site, but once again, Jacob with the multi-frags. This is what I'm talking about. JK is taken out in the meantime, but Jacob's still alive, and there are plenty of flashbangs to keep FaZe Clan in these choke points. Olofmeister's got to get something done here.
Well, and he absolutely will. He takes down Jacob on the reaction. He was a bit slow to the fight, but still wins it. And that just shows the class he's been consistently showing throughout this game of Mirage. Really, really desperately trying to get FaZe, drag him over the line. Missed there from Guardian. The bomb is recoverable, however, and we have Olofmeister joining the fray. Now, with over a minute to go, and in a 2 versus 3 for FaZe, and given the bomb, I don't know that it's necessarily that the CTs have seen it directly in its position where it is right now. FaZe can completely reset this. They could just walk to B. Or they could wait here until there's 30 seconds and then walk into A. You know, these are probably the 2 most likely options as far as Renegades are concerned. So Renegades will eventually have to pull a player back for sure. Although they haven't yet, and look at this presence coming in from Nico. Now, when there's only 2 players left, I think it's kind of hard to fake like that. If there were 3 of them left, okay, maybe Nico's lurking, but I think Renegades have read this.
It does happen. Mainly on Overpass, I would say. It's one of the maps where it's more often. Some maps are less conducive to that, but Olofmeister now. That trajectory, you have to assume it's been spotted by the CTs, and they should have all the information. 23 seconds, plenty of time pressure. This will be a much-needed round from Renegades. You don't want to go 0-3 and be facing 3 game points. They've got a little breathing room. And the CT side, I would say, has been the more difficult side for Renegades. They kept it simple. There was no dilly-dallying on their T side. There was no hesitation. They were very decisive, and that proved to work in their favor. And indeed, it did seem that FaZe Clan had hard counters, so now it can change for FaZe Clan. I feel like FaZe were trying to counter what Renegades were doing in their previous matches where they were really slow with the 3-man pushes we saw repeatedly from FaZe Clan in that mid position. I think the only time it was successful was when they had P250s, and they still lost that round. So there's a chance for FaZe Clan to adjust and do something more traditional or something completely different. We shall see. It'll be a very interesting start to this half.
Yeah, it really will be. I think we saw for sure in a weaker half of CT Counter-Strike from FaZe on this map than what you would normally expect from, I guess, due to the fact that they struggled on the economy, and also Renegades picked some really good rounds and executed really well. And FaZe are much warmer now, so let's see if they can change their fortunes here on the CT side now. Of course, first to 19, and will be the winner of this overtime if one of these teams can get there. All right, here we go. AWP on Guardian. I think we saw really awesome stuff from Olofmeister on that second AWP. That was really fun to watch on the CT side earlier, but he's opted to go for an M4. You've got to be somewhat conservative. Double AWP straight away is kind of bold. And then over time, your money goes away really fast if you do that.
Jacob makes his way beyond the short smoke. There might be a boost in the short position, and this is something we saw from FaZe Clan. Being aggressive in that short area. There we go, Jacob's caught off. There are 3 players for Renegades towards the apartment, but there won't be any fast response. Now, will they try to burst? Azza could lurk up the short position if he can get there fast enough, but the numbers are falling for Renegades. Olofmeister's been taken out, but Neo's got that super awkward angle. The smoke grenade to help his teammates rotate in through the door. He had to win that one. Azza does make it through from the short position, but he runs out of bullets before he can finish off Nico. FaZe Clan stuck behind the choke point. Nico is low, but they have a man advantage.
Wow, talk about some marginal situations there between Neo's duel and Azza running out of bullets. But the bomb does go down regardless here, and there's 2 versus 3 after plant for Renegades. Guardian on the AWP coming in the back with that. Looking to try to push B apartments. He's not too close just yet. Now he's starting to make his way forwards. He's announced his presence, and there goes the peak for JKS. It's on point, but that has to be the moment that they push, and they do. But Nico, he only has time to get one. Gratisfaction on point, delivers all the kills necessary. And Renegades pick up 1 round. They equalize, 17 apiece. 2 rounds left of this overtime. Again, Renegades need the next 2 wins to win it in this overtime. FaZe Clan as well.
Now, this is ropey for FaZe. This is the last time up for Renegades, which has been taken, but there'll be no money left for FaZe Clan after they buy, which means that it'll be a very strong situation for Renegades, but no means a guarantee. So we'll see what FaZe Clan are able to bring into this particular round. Gratisfaction with a very important 2K towards the end. They're trading for his... Oh my god! That was quite something. he is a nice AWPer to watch. His man's got some style. I am a fan. But there we go. 70-17 again, as Dan mentioned. First to 19 wins. Otherwise, it is overtime number 2. It's one of those majors with a lot of overtimes. Olofmeister makes his way towards a short position. Took out Azza. Jacob is in position though, but there's another flashbang. Here's that play from FaZe I'm talking about. Swinging through the short position, through connector, and the frags are raining in for FaZe Clan. They had to win this one in the numbers, and they're doing good so far. JKS, the last man standing. Finally, that play works for FaZe Clan, although it was made a little easier from Renegades. Walking through the smoke on short after your teammate was picked on short. Not really advisable. I don't know if they necessarily realized where the frag came from, because that was bizarre to watch.
Yeah, great stuff to see once again. You know, once Olofmeister gets that secondary AWP he's delivering. I think he's on 36 kills now. Olofmeister, yeah, 35. 35 for 21. Not a bad shouts. He is leading the way by quite some amount of kills on the server at the moment. Highest for Renegades is 27 on Jacob. And Jacob actually has more deaths than he has kills, so yeah, Olofmeister is definitely a standout performer. And Guardian will polish off the last one. So FaZe have at least secured overtime, another overtime should they lose this. But the pressure is on Renegades, as indeed, of course, they must win this to force overtime. That is the best case for them. Force a second one. Double ops continue for FaZe. Will their aggressive approach continue as well? Was indeed very effective in that previous round. Renegades will toss out the window and top cat smoke. And we'll get a different approach coming in from FaZe Clan. They won't go for the really, really fast play. Towards middle. Actually, no, they do. They're actually going to go through the smoke. All right, 2 players out of that smoke. Some pressure for Renegades. Olofmeister, he's going to go for the peek. Jacob's ready for it this time. They're getting punished, James. They're trying to do the same thing again. And Renegades have evolved. They've adapted.
Yeah, this time they did it instantly. But Jacob has been the king of multi-frags. He and JKS together for Renegades. So many important multi-frags for the team, but it is made a 3 versus 3. The B bomb site's empty for the time being. Nico's lurking in the mid position. Neo's out of position, moving into market with an M4. How much real estate does he want to try and take for his team? Now, if he doesn't reveal his position, I don't know if he was spotted. I don't think he was. Suddenly in the site. He's got Guardian to cover his back. Beautiful stuff. Liaz saw him first, but won't finish off the kill. And now Neo can just bait. He could draw him into the angles of Guardian. JKS may have spotted him, but in the meantime, we've got Nico making his way in apartments now. He's going to get smoked off, but is he brave enough to walk through it? Gratisfaction keeping an eye on it for now, but there are so many different things for him to look at. The timing is perfect. He knows Guardian is in the market position. 40 seconds to plant this bomb. They don't seem sure if he's in the market or outside. Double flashbangs eaten by Guardian, and the bomb's going to get planted, but you can't count Guardian out.
You absolutely can't. Gratisfaction, though, he's had the flicks for days. Oh my goodness, he's going to get a connection onto Guardian, actually. But Guardian is still alive, and that's what counts. JKS does not have to peek at all. He's going to be cautious, of course, of the various angles Guardian can approach from. That's a nice flick, but the punish in from JKS, and another overtime will be coming up.
You know what's terrifying? After planting the bomb, on the radar, I could see both players were strafing, one in front of the other, peeking the window.
Right.
So if Guardian was looking the other way, he could have got a collateral on both of them, and that would have been a very Renegades way to lose. But here we are. Overtime number 2. Renegades turn it around, and now they start on a T side, which I think is definitely their favored side in this series, in this vacuum of Mirage today. They have been strong. They've closed a lot of gaps that we've seen in previous matches across different maps. But again, FaZe Clan, how many times can you go back to that push with 2 players through connector and one in a short position? It has started to work a little more than it did in normal time, but it has to be expected now by Renegades. They for sure will be adjusting.
Well, this is the thing too, like, because if you don't go for it, then all of Renegades players are going to be middle maybe to try to counter it. So you get into these mind games. I like that FaZe have gone for this again. I think it's very important to try to throw Renegades off of their defaults and force them to play mid-round. And then you know what? They're just going to go straight for the B-bomb site.
Yeah, this is a reaction to all the players in the mid position, but they're creeping by the window. That's such a usual spot for a sniper. You've got to be careful with that. Poor positioning maybe, but Elias will definitely get the frag on this occasion, unlike the previous round. Rain in the market area. So just like we saw from FaZe Clan, when Renegades went deep in mid on the CT side and FaZe Clan were in position to push A, Renegades do the same thing towards the B bomb site. We're seeing similar tones from both teams, which is maybe why they're so tired at the moment. Jacob in such a strong position. Neo pushing through the smoke. He had to do it, and he did. 3 versus 3. This is absolute carnage on the B bomb site. Smokes are up. The CTs are still alive. Rain will fall though. Neo on 19 HP. A wide swing from Nico leaves Neo as the last man to fall. Renegade take the first.
They absolutely do. And again, for those of you that aren't sure like what you need to do to win here, 22 rounds. Simple as that. 22 rounds is what you need. Let's see who is good for it. You can see the stats are of like clear standouts with Olafmeister and JChem. Clear, like they are head and shoulders above anybody else on their respective teams. Okay, I do think it's an interesting, it's a really good call there from Renegades to immediately just run to be FaZe, thinking that hey, maybe they might actually try to contest this. Maybe they'll be slow to react, but when you have such a decisive calling, you can really hit strong timing windows where your particular attack is going to you're going to outmaneuver your opponent, and in so doing, you almost just win the round from positioning alone. And that's what Renegades were able to achieve there, although it did look a little bit scary towards the end, but still. Wouldn't be surprised to see a more passive approach from FaZe. Now we'll have to see what they decide to do.
Well, let's see. It may be because they've got 2 AWPs in this round, so I'd be surprised if they're going crazy in the mid position. They can design something entirely different. We did see a very reactive round, a quick decision from Renegades towards that B bomb site, which was great. So now maybe it's time to change the pace. What are you gasping at?
JKS. He could just swing on Nico in the Palace position. That would be devastating for FaZe. Nico's not. He's going to have to make a flick here. Okay, he's realizing what's going on maybe. Oh, this is scary for Nico. They're going to double peek this, aren't they? Oh, he still swipes and gets out of there. That's so stunning. What a player Nico is.
Minute 15. The bomb's in T spawn. Jacob will have to collect it. There's an answer from JKS, a cheeky one. That smoke will pull rotation. But with nothing else going on towards A, I wonder how FaZe Clan will respond. Neo's rotating out of the B bomb site. Neo doesn't have any Kevlar. He's got $500, so maybe the AUG was a mistake. We've got a second player joining towards the ramp now. So that's rough. That must have been an error.
Yeah, miscalculation. It is really weird, though, for FaZe to try to read this round, because JKS, the second player, like, how do you read 2 players in Palace? That normally is going to mean that players are going towards A, but it could just be an early round setup to trade, to get a double peek, and which is what they were going for. So can't read too much into it. A lot of this rides on Rain, though. There's the flash. They are both so blind, and Rain will get 2 very key kills. And now Renegades definitely in trouble. 15 seconds to get onto this bomb site, or well, less. You need 3.5 seconds to plant the bomb, and this is just not happening. Beautiful from both Nico and Rain in this round.
That is a MVP flashbang and peak play from FaZe Clan. Very, very important. Definitely want to secure at least one round on your CT side, and now there's a chance for both to get a second. Who will have a lead moving into half-time? This time Neo's got the money to buy some Kevlar. Nobody's short in that respect. And the two AWPs are out, Neo and Guardian on the CT side. Neo sniper, not something you see too often. Still so many snipers on FaZe when necessary. We've got to boost into that short position. The window's broken early, which can be useful because if you fall back onto those cinder blocks in the window area, then you do get a cheeky angle on anybody walking into connector. So Rain could hop down there a little later on. We'll have to keep an eye on that and see if that happens. But for now, Renegades are going to have two players up top mid. Gratisfaction getting aggressive. With no one picking him towards A ramp, he's got to try and figure out what kind of setup they might have on A.
Slow one here for both these teams. JKS not having to fear. Well, we know he does not have to fear Nico here, but he probably is fearing Nico, given the previous shenanigans from FaZe. Mid will be smoked up again. Window will be inaccessible in terms of peeking for the CTs. See Nico will throw some cursory bullets through as Renegades start to make their name, or rather their presence felt towards connector as well. So they are getting some map control here, and they have a player on Palace, so surely they're going towards this A bomb site. Good trade coming in from Rain, but it's going to be just Guardian here towards this A site. He's all that they have.
I don't know if you heard the footsteps towards the bench, but maybe he's expecting a flashbang play, and they are starting to swing on him. They've got time pressure, Renegades, to plant this bomb. It is getting planted, it seems, for the connector position just in time. Will there be a long rotation? Liaz taken out towards CT. Now, there are no grenades left, no relevant grenades left for Renegades. So they're in really awkward positions to try and hold this down. 3 versus 3, but they've got to go battle mode. Gratisfaction still posting up. He'll be faster than Guardian. Does he make his way towards CT? One player in connector for FaZe Clan. He's missed that one. That was a huge opportunity to take out Rain by the jungle area. 2 CTs remain. Only Rain has a defuse kit, so we need to keep an eye on him. He is close to the bomb at the moment, but he's not going to do anything about it. Renegades take the 1-round lead at half-time. They switch sides again.
Oof, this one, it doesn't feel like we're any closer to figuring out who's going to win this first map. Renegades, just 2 more rounds, and they can win this, put it in the bag, this first map. But given what we've seen from FaZe's T side, their T side seems to be their stronger side. Obviously, for both teams, that seems to be the case. So we're going to need to see something extremely dominant from FaZe, or we're going to need to see something quite different from Renegades for them to be able to have a much more comfortable time on the CT side. It's so hard to know which way this game is going to go. Both teams playing so close to each other.
Interesting. JKS is picking up the second AWP. That's really curious. On the CT side, JKS and JChem have both around that connector position, got many multi-frags, which have really kept Renegades in with a chance of holding down the A bomb site. So with the AWP, it's going to be more difficult to do that. However, you do need to change things up when you get to multiple overtimes, just the nature of the beast. FaZe Clan starts slow. They've got Nico lurking towards A, but he starts to move away, or at least move towards the ramp position to show some presence there. He'll drop a flash towards ramp and then head back towards the Palace area. Smoking Palace from Renegades. We can see FaZe Clan with 2 towards mid, 2 in B apartments, but Guardian's going to make his way maybe towards... Oh, never mind, he's going back. So who knows what they're doing.
One of the things about this play from Renegades is that when you're on the T side and you see the CTs just dump all their utility to take middle, if you kind of just wait and play a slow round and just do a set, like hold on to your utility, then do a set piece, if you actually get onto the site, they don't really have retake utility anymore because they spent so much in the early rounds aggressively. So that's probably one of the reasons why we're seeing FaZe take this very slowly, why they are now going towards the B-bomb site. Renegades have double ops too, and they're not really pushing anyone anywhere. So Renegades have no information. They are playing blind. They can likely spot into middle, but again, that doesn't really tell them enough. So we'll see how Renegades try to decipher this. But FaZe, I would definitely give them the upper hand in this round.
Yeah, there's a lot of guesswork from Renegades, and they have guessed wrong. They've put 3 players on the A bomb site. Liaz, though, is in a strong position through the smoke. They've got to go together. He finds 2, 3. Liaz, has he got any more in him? 4. He's pulling out for another weapon. He's going to get the ace in the apartments on his own. Renegades in completely the wrong position, but he slaughters all of them. They're in the abattoir. They're on the meat hooks.
That is so unreasonable from Liaz. So much damage coming through. And again, we set it up. You know, FaZe, all they had to do was just trade him. It could even have been a 3 versus 5 after this, just like Liaz just getting 2 kills. It could even have been that, and they still have an advantage. Wow, Kassad absolutely popping off there. And oh my God, that might be the difference here, because Renegades, they're in such a good position now to win this one. Oh my God, FaZe are in trouble, James.
That was wild, but it's time for the next round. There's another full buy for FaZe Clan. The 2 AWPs continue. We didn't even see him do anything in that previous round. Over the smoke, Jacob will just about steal off Meister. However, he will come out worse off. The Tracers punished by Olof. Lucky to be alive, it's fair to say. And much needed. 2 HP, and Olof Meister is very, very dangerous. Does he take the AWP from Nico? Looks like he's headed in that direction. Players caught on short, but Gratisfaction is forced to rotate away. Got to smoke himself for his own self-preservation. He won't go too far. Again, he is a very aggressive sniper, as I mentioned. He's not shy. Olof Meister's got the AWP now, and he's going to be over towards the B halls, while 2 FaZe players make their way towards A.
This is really, really sketchy stuff now, because Renegades 1 away from winning this. Even though they've gone down a player, indeed, as Olof Meister's picked up the AWP, and he's so weak, it kind of feels like, you know, Renegades have still got some you know, there's some arguments going towards them, especially with Liaz in that previous round, absolutely decimating them by himself. Big confidence booster for Renegades. And one thing, though, that can be said for FaZe, again, look at this situation on the utility. They've played it really slow. Renegades have run out of utility way beyond their opponents. However, looks like Liaz is going to execute Neo. And here goes the push into the A site. 20 seconds to go now for FaZe Clan. They've got to make this happen quickly, but JKS, here it is, by triple with the AWP. He's got to peek out, misses the first shot. That's not going to be good enough. There's no second shot really to be fired or connected. As Gratisfaction again! We love it when he is going for these crazy plays off the AWP, and again, he's setting up his team. Liaz coming in from the side there from CT, and that's it! Renegades win by time. Gratisfaction again, James, denies the plant. I can't believe it, and that's how they got overtime in the first place.
Huge gap in the smoke. Not sure if it collided with somebody, but again, opportunity presents itself and he will take it. But we've got to give huge props to Liaz in overtime as well. An ace through a smoke alone on the B bomb side. That was really, really clutch. They even tried to avoid that phase by putting 2 people either side of the smoke, but he still managed to do it, had the presence of mind to switch out for a weapon when he ran out of bullets. Unbelievable stuff. You have to give credit to Renegades for changing their approach on the T side from the beginning, not having those slow rounds where we saw him get punished by the likes of Avangard and Vertigo and so on, not taking it too careful and creating mistakes that way, but being decisive, being solid. None of those anti-eco rounds, anti-force buys ended up being stolen away. They really just limited all the things that cost them games and rounds in the past, and managed to take it in overtime after a difficult CT side. Again, they weren't winning that many rounds, but they had a late resurgence and they won, I think, 4 or 5 rounds towards the end to take it into overtime in the first place. Yeah,
and that last round being that Gratisfaction just shooting the bomber through the smoke, and then it being impossible to plant, and like winning the, you know, that round and getting overtime, and that's how they secured it again at the end is incredible. And the thing is, this is the problem here. We had multiple players stepping up for Renegades. Liaz, we could see towards the end of the game, really started to have heavy impact. And of course, you know, JKS and Jacob, you highlighted them in regular time also. But the thing is that, and also Gratisfaction has some very key impact frags and impact plays, but it was only Olof Meister really from FaZe that we saw consistently delivering for the FaZe squad. And that's just a problem. That's a huge problem.
Well, he was ahead of his teammates, but I mean, that was really a team effort from Renegades. JKS, the multi-frags around connector for his team. Yeah. Jacob, the same, from the same position. There was so many important things happening from the entire squad of Renegades. I mean, everybody turned up on the scoreboard for both teams. Olof Meister was far ahead for his team with 36 frags, so he may feel some frustration in that respect. But I mean, what a game for Renegades. I'm just so happy to see them kind of just limit all those issues that we've seen from them on the T side. That is the first map in the bag for Renegades. Can they get another one? We'll have to find out after the break.